I'm calling an audible. I was going to do a few other stories, but our mutual friend, our good buddy Josh Horowitz, texted me before the show went live, and he said, "Listen, just letting you know, I'm dropping a James Gunn interview at 2:00, and there's a lot of juicy bits in there." And I said, "Perfect. We're doing capes and cows, so that's good." I'm going to start with this one. I haven't even watched it yet, so let's see if I can get. I want to see if I can get you guys. Make sure I have you guys. There we go. All right, so let's play this clip. This is about Batman. So I'll play this Batman clip. I don't know what it is. No idea. Here we go.
Matt Reeves did deliver the script.
Yeah,
and we know you read it and you seem very pleased.
I like it. Yes.
So on track for that release date. We feel like now we're headed in the right direction.
Oh yeah, for sure we're headed in the right direction. So there's some things we still got to work out, but like it's headed in the right direction for sure.
So look, we've had this conversation before, but I'm going to bring up the Batman DCU stuff like again. So like obviously Brave and the Bold we know is being written, and the DCU Batman is still intended to be a different Batman than Rob. I guess my question is like timeline wise, like how does this work? Like is there I presume you wouldn't want to release Brave and Bold and the Batman 2 in the same calendar year. It like starts to get a little confusing, or no, you tell me. I mean, having two Batman running around at the same time.
Probably not.
Oh.
But
interesting.
Yeah, probably not. No.
Okay.
Probably not the same calendar year. Yeah.
Okay.
Is Brave and Bold when you think we'll see that Batman for the first time?
I'm not going to say that.
Okay. Have you gotten into casting yet in your head?
No. Why are you winking at me? That's weird.
What do you think about the fans that talk about someone like Alan Ritchson?
I am a big Alan Ritchson fan, both as an actor and as a guy. Let's just wait to see what happens.
Okay. I guess my only other thing I'll say on that front, and then I'll move on, I promise, is again, and you can say anything you want or nothing at all, but like when you're casting that role, it would seem to me you have to differentiate in some substantial way the take on Batman so it doesn't get confusing, right? Like whether it's a different age, a different vibe, something. Is that in your head? Like when
That's
we get there?
That's always going to be the case.
Yeah.
What two Batmans have the same vibe?
Well,
Clooney and Kilmer.
That's fair. Okay.
I mean, but they're the same director.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like
it's dictated by the material and the take.
The material, the take.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
The actors, the actors aren't important.
We learn nothing else.
No, listen, do I ever think about it? Sure, there's people out there I think about, but let's see where the script comes in.
Okay.
It's not the furthest along thing. I mean, we have things that are much, much further along than
Brave. Let's talk about the further along. Supergirl's in the can.
Supergirl's in the can.
Commercial. Good place to take a break.
Cool.
All right. So good place to break. We'll go back in a minute. Again, big interview there for Josh Horowitz as he's discussing that. Winston, what do you make of those comments?
I think that a lot of stuff is decided, and I think that James Gunn got caught for like half a second of like, let me make sure I don't give too much of the farm away. It kind of read like certain things have been taken care of, but he genuinely is like, I need to be careful because that is not the game plan to talk about that right now. So that's what that read to me personally. I don't know if you guys felt a little bit differently, but it felt like I knew you were going to ask this, but I still got caught a little bit unprepared to not immediately divert. So,
Boy, what'd you read from this, and what can you say?
I read that it is the 167th confirmation of the year about Matt Reeves being separate. I'm glad that he's in a position now with the script being turned in to just be like, as I've said, separate. Just because, that is what I wanted as a fan was separate, but also what I want as someone that reports on this stuff, both on their set and on my own. I think it's very important to distinguish, like, a rumor can go as far as you want someone to lie, but when you have someone that's actually in charge saying like, this is how it's going to be, it just feels good to hear it with like periods. And I also think, he is a script first director. He's a script first producer. He's a script first overseer of a universe. I don't think he has anyone singularly in mind until the script is finished. And I think that is a much healthier way to cast than by having previs on a movie that isn't done yet, like other studios do at times, and putting actors' faces in, and then you kind of wrap it around the actor.
Right.
Instead, cast an actor as if it were any other movie that wasn't a shared universe. Get the script in, decide who would be right for that take. And that's what, to me, it sounds like he's doing. To me, it doesn't mean no to Alan Richardson. Doesn't mean yes to Alan Richardson. It means script.
I say this as a big fan of Alan Richardson. I hope it is a no to Alan Richardson. The guy is 6'4". He's a jacked monster. Standing next to David Corenswet, he's going to look the same.
You only use him if you're going to do absolute Batman, in my opinion.
Maybe, and I guess that goes to Coy's point of let's see where the script is, and maybe they make it to where they're going to make this Batman a big jack monster, and if that's the case, then Alan Richardson's perfect for it. It has nothing to do with his acting ability. It's not as far as likable. I love Alan Richardson. I think he's great. I'd like to see him in the DCU. I just don't think he's Batman. I just don't. I think he's a big jacked dude that could kick the piss out of Superman and doesn't need technology to do it. Summertime is hectic, man. There's so much going on. You got to try to fit stuff in. So you got to try to fit in. How do I fit working out? How do I do it? For me, I love having hydro at my house now. I've been talking about you guys. Hydro? We're talking about hydro? Yeah, I'm talking about hydro. Because why? There's no commute. There's no class times. There's no juggling logistics. I just hop on it. I get an amazing workout. 20 minutes fits into whatever kind of day I'm having. It's a game changer. It gives me a full body workout. It's got arms, it's got legs, it's got core, everything. I'm hitting 86% of my muscles in one session. I can do it in just 20 minutes when I'm busy. That kind of efficiency, it really matters. I love that I'm not just following some random trainer, too. That's one of the things I really have responded to. The workouts are led by real athletes, Olympians, baby, world champions, people who know what they are doing. It makes a big difference for me. I feel like, okay, this person knows what they're doing. I'm not just listening to some random video out of nowhere. So for me, again, just having it in my place, and if I miss something, I'm like, oh, man, what am I going to do? How am I going to get myself to the gym? I don't need to. I have it at my place. So I'm able to skip the gym and not the workout. I stay on track with Hydro. For a limited time, go to hydro.com. Use that code Kristian, and you're going to save up to $450 off your Hydro Pro Rower. $450. That is HYDROW.com. Use the code Kristian. Save up to $450. Hydro.com. Code Kristian.
I personally like him a lot, and I like Jack Reacher more than I expected to, but I also think there are characters that visually are a scale that need to be bigger than other characters. And I'm not even talking about Batman, I'm saying in the DCU. If you cast someone like Alan Richardson as a human, you got problems casting anything else. Like, it causes problems going in all directions. I like the dude a lot, but I do think that visually that's not a Batman that can work inside a Justice League, because then who do you cast as bigger than Batman?
And look, Corenswet's not a small dude. He's 6 foot. He's probably the same height as Richardson, but like Superman should be imposing to Batman. That's the whole point. So Batman's,
Or I was just gonna say, or at the very least, Batman should have a similar physique. We just know that obviously there is more behind Superman. Like you said, if Batman looks too jacked, the only way that really works is either A, again, absolute Batman because of what they've decided to make with him, or B, the Dark Knight Returns, who is this old man that is also insanely jacked from the reason of him trying to make up for the fact that he's old. So like, I don't think it's a good fit if we're going with like a standard Bruce Clark comparison, you know?
Yeah, it's true. So it doesn't, I mean, Josh gets a lot of out of him. There's even more, and he gives a future of kind of the DCU updates here. So let's take a look at this particular clip and see what he says here. Oh, that's Batman.
Nothing else.
No, listen. And do I ever think about it? Sure, there's people out there I think about, but let's see where the script comes in.
Okay,
it's not the furthest along thing. I mean, we have things that are much, much further along than Raven.
Let's talk about the further along. Supergirl's in the can.
Supergirl's in the can.
Same old phone.
Come on.
Nah.
I'm gonna add again.
Upgrade to the new Galaxy.
As I say it, it's like, I'm sure there's been 70,000.
Don't leave out Peacemaker 2.
We're going to be talking about that in about a week. I'm very excited about
Peacemaker 2 is a direct follow-up to Superman. We have so many characters from Rick Flag's in it, Hawkgirl, Maxwell Lord, Guy Gardner. So it's the direct follow-up to Superman,
and
but very R-rated.
I can't wait. We're going to see not only Lobo but Crypto in Supergirl.
Lobo is so freaking awesome. Jason Momoa is so Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean,
so-
we've all agreed like this was like the easiest casting ever.
It was. Well, he pushed himself on me too, I gotta say. But he yeah, Lobo is great. And then and that's great. And then we have Lanterns coming out, which is great. We have Clayface, which is about to go into production.
Cast your Clayface. You have James Watkins directing. This is going to be
Flanagan script. Yep.
And you've said the script is what sold you. It's always going to sell you.
Yeah.
This is
a total horror movie. Like really, it's like it could be a Blumhouse, big budget horror film, and it's within the DCU, which I think is a cool thing to do.
Let me just run down a few others. You tell me as much as you want or not. So like, are we anywhere on like a Wonder Woman script? Like
yes,
yeah,
yes.
You feel like there's a take, there's a direction.
Yes.
That feels distinct from what we've seen before.
Yeah, very.
Damn.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm very, very excited about Wonder Woman right now.
Do you anticipate seeing something like a new Flash, a new Aquaman in the next few years, or is that a little ways off?
I wouldn't say the next 2 years for either of those characters.
Okay. The Authority still on your mind?
Yeah, but that's been a rough road.
That's a slower one.
Yeah,
just harder to crack.
Yeah. The writer moved on to another project in the DCU that I think he's really killing right now. So
okay, and that project would be
another movie.
Swamp Thing. Has Mangold delivered a script?
We talked to James the other day, so no, he hasn't delivered a script. It's, he's been distracted with his billions of movies.
Yes,
but I think we're talking about it again. So.
And I mean, Sergeant Rock seemed like it was very close.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still have hopes that it's going to come back around relatively soon?
Hugely.
Okay.
I'm really excited about Sergeant.
And with Luca still involved?
No.
Okay. Is there one filmmaker, if you had your druthers, if you could lure anybody into the DCU, who would you grab? Make your pitch.
Come on, let's do it.
Matt Reeves.
You already got him. He's in the DCU.
He's not in the DCU.
Have you talked to him? You must have talked to him about it.
Yeah. No, I mean Matt to me, listen, Matt, I love the people that are out there making pop movies that are still, it's Matt Reeves, it's Greta Gerwig, it's Ryan Coogler,
it's their vision,
it's the guys that and I'm friendly with all those people, and they're making big movies that still have themselves in it.
Yeah, they're personal, yet they resonate with everybody.
And so
you can check the rest out. Obviously, with he's got a ton of stuff there for Gunn. I mean, those are some big nuggets, obviously, and the fact that he wants to have Matt Reeves direct the DCU project, and he's like, "Have you talked to him about it?" He's like, "Yeah, I have." And look, a lot of those updates are things like he said. You could tell Sergeant Rock, he clearly wants to get made, and just isn't going to happen with Luca. And although I'll tell you, I don't know if you guys saw that After the Hunt trailer. That thing's getting nominated for Oscars.
I have not seen it.
Luca's going to be all over Oscar, so they might want to go back and get him for something. But either way, Coy, I don't know. We just heard a lot. What stood out?
I love that he is as much about the directors having their own flavor as he is. It seems clear to me with Craig Gillespie and some of the other confirmed directors that is kind of like the second level of like script and then personality and directing. I think that's a thing with bigger tentpoles in any studio, any shared universe or not shared universe, where there gets to be a point where it's really, really big and it doesn't feel important. That was personally one of the things I loved about Superman, was that it felt important. It had a really strong message and theme, but it didn't pull punches and got to be a giant tentpole film. I'd love if, much like comic books, we use the medium to tell bold stories, but also add personality even when they're huge. So that seems to be on the forefront. I love that he wants Matt Reeves in the DCU because it's not yet. I think that's a great sign of them working together being a great thing. I don't know what that could be, but that's exciting because I agree. Like, if you look at Apes, you look at anything he's done, there is a lot of vision in his work. So I'd love to see that as well. And I don't know, just I like that the further along we get, the more forthcoming he is. Obviously, that was the last stop in his press tour for Superman. So it's nice to have a big catch-all of like, here's all the stuff. But I do think it is smart of him to not do the thing where there's a 5-year layout. I like the caginess versus the like, here's a map.
Yeah. Winston, again, a lot that we heard. Would you take out of that?
The main thing that got me was the Reeves situation, and I think it makes me wonder if there was. I gotta believe, because he obviously has a lot of respect for Matt, that it was a mutually decided thing from Warner Brothers and from him to be like, just leave Matt alone and let him do what he's gonna do with the Batman. And because that's almost what that comment sort of felt like, is both he knows that, but it feels like Warner Brothers is also like, it made us a lot of money, it's done well, we're gonna keep this kind of doing its own thing.
Right.
So, I said last week, him being like, hey, the genre is going to be different, might have tipped the hat towards maybe we are going to use Pattinson's Batman. I think then this was a little bit more clarifying of like, that's not what's going to happen. And the hope that once his saga is done, that maybe he can bring Reeves into the fold after the fact. But that was the part that stuck out to me the most, because I think that's the big question everybody's been asking, is what's going to happen with that.
Okay. So, again, there's tons of stuff there. A lot of those updates, a lot of those things. Great job by Josh. The last thing that I want to play from this clip, and I haven't heard any of this because it just went up. And this will be a spoiler for Superman. So if you haven't seen it, I would say dip out. But he asked him about Jor-El's message. That's intriguing to me to see what the answer is going to be and what the question is, if he gives him anything on it. So let's see what the question exactly is and how James Gunn responds. Here is that particular clip. Hold on a moment. There we go. Here we go.
Is it real? Has it been doctored? Is that the actual?
How
message?
can someone not think it's real?
I'm just saying.
How can someone? I don't understand. Like, we did this. So in the test screens, people were like, "Is it real?" With AI, nobody trusts anything. Okay, in the movie.
You make a point of saying Mr. Terrific says it's real.
Mr. Terrific says, I know those computer forensics guys. There's no way. That's Mr. Terrific, smart as Lex Luthor. Then I have Maury, the Secretary of Defense, say, I think whatever you think about Luthor, but it's real. And then the clincher is that Gurkos and Lex are walking together.
Right.
And, Gurkos says, you doctored a message. This is great. And Lex says, it's not a message. It's not doctored. Right. It's real. And who thought his own parents would be the ones to bring him down?
Okay. We just clarified, just for the record. I just want to get it done. Are there implications for this going forward, or have you dealt with this? Do you imagine this being dealt with in future Superman stories?
Honestly, I think he deals with it in this story pretty much.
Okay. So there, I think that's pretty much done deal. Kind of bummed about it a little bit, but I also, pun intended, I think I like that he's sticking to his guns. But I will say, hey, I have to figure, you know what? You don't get to do that. So yeah, he's sticking to his guns. And Coy, what do you think about this? What do you think about the fact that, is this clarification? Is this Dunsky?
Oh, that's done. I thought, again, it was very clear in the movie. There's so many comments in any of my reviews. Like, I did a non-spoiler, a spoiler, an Easter egg. I did so many reviews in this movie, and everyone has comments of like, hey, so do you think that's actually the message? Like, it's very established in the film that even when Lex is talking casually outside of the public, why would he lie? And then why would Mr. Terrific? Because if they made it so Mr. Terrific didn't believe it, that would undermine his super intelligence. There's so many reasons that show that is the message. So I like that, because it shows choice. It shows nature nurture. It shows that his parents are ma and pa. It shows that he made the choice to not be what he was sent there for. I think it's great. The Kryptonians are not the ones on the planet. Superman is on the planet as a Kryptonian that is human, and he is doing the thing he chose to do, and that is the speech from Pa Kent about parents are the ones that are letting kids make a fool of themselves, make their own choice, is so undermined if that message isn't true. The whole movie is about making choices, so I think it's really weird that people really want Jor-El, who they don't have any context to and will never probably see again, to have such an impact. They didn't make it a story where the crystals are like Jor-El talking as a ghost. We will probably not see the parents of his birth again, I assume, because I don't know if there'd be a reason to. So yeah, I like a new canon because it allows for new takes and new choices, and I think this is a really strong choice. And also like the opening when he falls like Yamcha. This is very Dragon Ball Z, which I dig.
Yeah. I do think, I don't know how it consider me weird then, on your logic, because like I think that for me it's like I understand the story that they were telling. It made sense. It's a story that they told. It made sense, but it doesn't take away. It shouldn't take away from people's if they've embraced Jor-El as a character over however long it's been, and the idea of like Jor-El was stern, but Jor-El was not telling his son to go create a harem and to go, dominate the world. It's a different take, in the same way that Henry Cavill Superman was a different take on Superman, right? It's a different take on it. It made sense for the story they were telling. I just still don't know if I love it. And I definitely, the confirmation that he just said, he's like, what are you talking about? It's like, I've told you 3 times. It's the real message. He clarified it. But Winston, I don't know. What do you make of it?
I mean, the first thing is I don't think it was that clear, because the messenger that this was real is Lex Luthor, a man known for lying at every pass if it gets him what he wants. So I don't necessarily agree with that, including, yes, Mr. Terrific is arguably the second smartest man in the whole universe. But again, that would be second. And then the argument is typically that Lex is the first. So on top of the fact that you have a Brainiac potentially running around out there, Brainiac, like Ultron level of like, let me go mess with computer technology. There's a number of reasons why people would feel disingenuous about that, not just the society that we currently live in. But yes, I agree it was a choice to decide that that's how Jor-El would be. I am okay with it. I don't love it, but I'm okay with it because of what Coy did mention before. What this movie ultimately is about the choices. It's also about nature versus nurture. The nature of it would be, hey, if that's really how Kryptonians be rolling, then he would go and make a harem and dominate the planet, versus he was raised by the Kents, which is why you have even how he deals with that at the end with the video. That is kind of just further putting into place. It is about what you decide to do with your life and the people that affect you, not necessarily where you come from. So I like it as a narrative choice. I don't like it necessarily as, yes, this Jor-El has existed in various stories, but I prefer the one where he comes from good people. It also speaks to, Kara in that regard, because obviously she was around on Krypton beforehand. So are all Kryptonians just out here being like, yeah, bone and take over planets? Like, are we dealing with the Viltrumites now?
That's the question. What did she, if it's that cut and dry, like he just said, what did she know? Like how much information I keep getting, Coy, is it Kara or Kara?
That's one of those tomatoes. I say Kara, but I've heard both.
Okay. So either way, is Kara, whatever the hell her name is she, does she know this stuff? Does she know, like, basically, because you would assume that she knew the intent, and if she did, was she holding it from Clark the whole time?
I mean, that's to me, I'm curious if that's addressed in Supergirl, if that's something that the Kryptonians have as a factor, or is it something that is Jor-El's like, well, this is the option, go. I don't know if that assumes them all to be a conquering people, or if Jor-El was. Also, the harem thing to me, and I could be misreading it, felt more like something that Lex used to make people more afraid. Like, that felt augmented by Lex. Like, the message was clear, but Lex then doubled down, and then the guy in Barovia doubled down into, like, the women here are the ones he likes most. Like, to me, that felt like a way to alienate, pun intended, Superman, because America's so prudish. Like, there's nothing Americans fear more than sex. So, like, using that to be like, oh, he likes many women. So I think that's a smart bit of storytelling. If you want someone to be villainized, you use the thing we're scared of, which is titties.
I mean, so my question is, you think that was actually a real part of the message, but Lex played it up? Or you think Lex added that part to the message, but the message of go and essentially be a ruler was real?
I think the ruler was real. I think the way to make people afraid is to poke at the thing they're insecure about. So like,
so you think the harem thing was also real, but Lex is like, ooh, see, look at him, sex.
He mentioned on that Bill O'Reilly show, right? Like that's the thing that he was like, and he like it. That's the thing that got the juice.
All right. Well, we'll find out a little bit more. I'm sure someone will ask him about that. But great job overall from Josh Horowitz there, as always. Make sure you go check it out. Check his channel out and watch the full interview. It's almost like an hour-long video. So go and check that out. What do you make of the DC updates that we just played there? Put your thoughts in there.